What are you so afraid of?
Me.
And just who are you?
I've been dubbed many names by many people. A ruler, a conqueror, he who remains, a jerk. But it's not as simple as a name.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and Kang the Conqueror is on his way. And Kang could quite possibly be the best big bad yet. However, most people can't really see this yet because Kang isn't exactly as well known as Thanos was, and we've only gotten a little taste of him with He Who Remains. And although He Who Remains' entrance into the MCU was iconic and that Loki finale was insanely good, we haven't exactly gotten a taste of what Kang is truly capable of. And even as He Who Remains said, if you think that he was evil, just wait until you see his variants.
If you think I'm evil, well, just wait till you meet my variants. And that's the gambit.
And you even saw in the beginning, he stated he was afraid of himself, his own variants. Kang literally created the TVA to keep his other variants away. Remember, the multiversal war wasn't between a lot of different people in a lot of different universes. It was only between the variants of Kang and the armies that Kang commanded. And as we've seen in the trailers for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, this Kang the Conqueror that we're going to have to deal with in the MCU does indeed have a huge army and a huge base camp set up in the middle of the quantum realm. So pretty soon in Quantumania, we're going to get a taste of how powerful, smart, and scary Kang truly is as a big bad. And I think that somewhere in this army, one of the commanders of the army working for Kang is going to be Ultron, and possibly even an Ultron army as well. Now keep in mind, we actually saw this in Multiverse of Madness, but luckily in that movie, the Illuminati were the ones who controlled the Ultron bots. But what if, in other universes, Kang is the one who controls them? This would make an already extremely powerful villain even more powerful. And I think that this could be about to happen in the MCU as we've gotten reports that Ultron is going to be returning. And I think that it could be revealed that Ultron could be a part of Kang's army in Quantumania, which is only right around the corner, less than 2 months now. And this could quite possibly be one of the coolest things to ever take place in the MCU. So do us a favor and let us know what you think about this theory after you watch the video. Also, big thank you to Elgato for being a great partner this year. Thank you for the Christmas package that you sent me. I love being a part of the Elgato family, and if you're a content creator or looking to be one, Elgato has the perfect equipment for you to make your studio awesome and to make everything sound and look fantastic. If you're looking for their gear, you can check it out in the link down below. So how exactly would this work? Well, first things first, keep in mind that the quantum realm isn't really a universe. Yes, it is sort of another world. However, it exists between and outside of time and space. So it is its own universe in a way, but it exists outside of other universes, outside of time. So there really isn't a timeline for the quantum realm. So when you say Kang has an army in this universe, it's not exactly accurate, because Kang actually took the army that he has inside of the quantum realm from other universes, probably more than one, because that is the threat of Kang. One of the biggest threats of Kang, actually. He can go to other universes at different points of time, way into the future, and gather advanced items, including weapons and people, and add them to his army and bring them to the quantum realm where his base camp is. And I stress the importance of this because there have been reports that Ultron could return. However, Ultron could return in many different ways in many different universes. The Ultron that we saw in Avengers Age of Ultron could indeed return in our main MCU universe. However, I think that Kang is in control of a different Ultron, and possibly even more than one. And this actually comes down to kind of a leak that we've heard for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Now for Quantumania, you have probably seen and heard that there are going to be different variants of different characters in that movie. In fact, the trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania showed us many different Ant-Man variants, one of which met a very bad fate, turned into string cheese, much like Mr. Fantastic and Multiverse of Madness. But Ant-Man variants aren't the only variants that we're going to see. According to some reports about what to expect from the movie, not only will we see Ant-Man variants, but we'll see variants of other characters that we have seen before in the MCU. However, of course, since they're variants, they'll be coming from different universes, and they're not exactly going to be good. We're going to see some characters who are normally heroes be villains. And some reports even go on to say that some of these characters could be from previous Avengers teams, or have at least fought with the Avengers. Now, this is very exciting in and of itself if it does happen to be true and happen on screen. And if so, I can't wait to see the characters that they get. However, the main point of this and what this tells us is that Kang kind of recruited an army from multiple different universes. And I think that Ultron could be one of those people that he recruited. Kang is all about technology. That's where he gets all of his powers from. He doesn't actually have any natural powers. Kang is actually from the future. In fact, He Who Remains states that the variant of himself that discovered the universes were on top of each other was from the 31st century. That's 1,000 years ahead of us and the characters in the MCU. So the first Kang already had advanced technology just by living in the time that he was born in. And from there, he created the first time machine that he would use to go back in time, forward in time, everywhere in time, until eventually he would figure out how to go to other universes as well. And this is where it gets kind of cool, because it seems to me that he went to other universes and gathered the best part and the most powerful parts of each universe, and that does not only consist of weapons and technology, but people as well. And if that's what Kang truly is doing, going to different universes and timelines in order to get the most technologically advanced things that would benefit him in taking over every single universe, the entire multiverse, I would imagine that at some point in time, he would come across an Ultron army and Ultron himself and think to himself, this could be very useful for me. If I commanded this army and I commanded Ultron, I could essentially hack into anything that I want to. This means that Kang could essentially wipe out all technology of a single world and send them back to the Dark Ages. He could knock out all of their technology, all of their weapon systems, their defense systems, anything. With Ultron, he could essentially take over the entire web. In a way, Ultron really is kind of the perfect weapon for Kang to harness. So Ultron being a part of Kang's army does make sense. In fact, the blue army that we see in Quantumania, the army that Kang has, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of it was made out of Ultron bots. Now, I should also note that in the spirit of Ultron returning, the Cosmic Circus does mention Ultron returning, but in our universe, the Ultron from our universe returning. They state that they've heard from a source that remnants of the old Ultron still exist. And in Age of Ultron, Tony Stark and Vision did say that in order to defeat Ultron, they explained that every form that Ultron has built, every trace of his presence on the net had to be destroyed. Or he could return, and to be fair, we've seen a lot of traces of him still left. In Spider-Man Homecoming, we see that the DODC has an Ultron head. In WandaVision, we learned that SWORD has shifted their focus to robotics, nanotech, AI, and sentient weapons, and even rebuilt a Vision body without the Mind Stone. And then, of course, recently in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Queen Ramonda stated that AI will one day rise up and kill us all, which could all be hints that Ultron is indeed returning. However, like I mentioned, I am pretty sure that Kang has probably gathered an Ultron from another universe and has somehow managed to take control of that Ultron, because Ultron doesn't like to play nice with other people. He would be more than likely to rebel against Kang. However, if Kang hacked inside of him and took full control of him, that means that there's not really a threat of Ultron anymore. The threat is Kang controlling Ultron and essentially kind of becoming him. If he's able to use Ultron at will and do whatever he wants, he essentially is Ultron, or at least has all of his abilities. I, for one, would love to see this happen. This would be a crazy cool twist, on top of, I'm sure, a lot of other really cool twists we're going to see with Kang the Conqueror, but I think this could make him so much more powerful in the MCU. Not that he really needs it with the ability to control time and jump different universes, but if we're looking for an exceptional big bad, one that is better than we've ever seen before, better than Loki, Ultron, Thanos, you name it, it would be really cool to see one big bad control a previous big bad. Plus, not to mention, Kang is going to talk about how he let Thanos do everything that he did. So they could show us just how strong Kang is by saying that, yeah, remember the previous big bads? Well, Ultron, he now has full control over, and as far as Thanos goes, well, he let Thanos do everything. But if he wanted to step in and say, stop it and defeat Thanos, he probably could have, and I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see some footage of Kang defeating Thanos in a different universe than our main MCU, just to truly show how strong Kang the Conqueror really is. is. But hey, this is just a theory about how Kang could be controlling Ultron and how Ultron could return, possibly in Quantumania, and then of course in the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. But let us know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. What do you think? Would this be good or not? Don't forget to like the video and of course subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the future videos. You can always follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.